Hey everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on Modao Zushi, chapters 72 through 74, episodes 3 and 4 of season 3 of the audio drama. So we've got those chapters, those episodes of the audio drama, and those chapters to look at today, and also the extra Youngmeng Youths, which I'm guessing is going to be about Cheng. I'm guessing it's going to be about Cheng, Yanli, and WuXian, because I have a feeling that these chapters I'm about to read, and these two episodes of the audio drama I'm about to listen to, are of Zixuan dying. I just have that. We're at that point, right? I just feel like we're at this point in the story where round 3, we had the Lotus Pier round 3. Let's just do Zixuan dying. I have a feeling it's going to happen in these chapters. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting because I've just watched this with the Untamed and I've seen it in the Donghua. So this will be, it's weird. I've seen the adaptations of these chapters first. And now we're going to go back and actually read the chapters that it originated from. And so it's interesting. But yeah, last time, WuXian got made out with. There was the pheasant hunt on Phoenix. If I say pheasant hunt, the Phoenix mountain hunt. And yeah, WuXian got made out with by Wangji. And it was a fun time. And here we are. So, I do like that WuXian in the novel is slowly coming around to the realization that, I do like Wangji. It might be more than just a friend. Who knows? And then Wangji, of course, obviously is in love with WuXian. So it's interesting. I feel like it's great that these emotions, this series has done a very good job, and I've talked with a lot of people in the comments, that the series does a really good job of opening up and expanding on WuXian's sexuality and him coming to grips with it. Like at first he's like, oh, I don't like guys. And then he slowly, but he says he doesn't like guys at the beginning, but all of his actions say otherwise. And his inner thoughts say otherwise. And as the series has progressed, he's slowly come to the realization that maybe I do like guys, specifically Wangji. And he's slowly coming to grips with that, right? So it's interesting to see him kind of blossom and realize these emotions, and we've been going back and forth in time, so we've seen how he was in the past, and we've seen all the little indications and hints that have always been there, but now in the present timeline, it's like I like one commenter said that he by being able to be in Mojang Yu's body, he could kind of try on this sexuality, and then he realized that he likes it, like, because Mojang Yu has been considered gay the entire time, and so WuXian playing the part kind of imitates him, but then it's like he's trying it on and he's like, oh yeah, actually this is kind of me, so about that. So it's interesting. I like the way MXTX has framed it this entire time. But yeah, 74, chapter 72 to 74, gonna look at episodes 3 and 4 of the audio drama here, and then the Youngmeng Youths, and then I'm gonna take off and go read the chapters of the novel and read the chapters of the Manhua. The Manhua's been really good the last couple of episodes, but yeah, and then come back and we'll talk about it. So fun times, right? I'm really excited. So let's not waste any more time, shall we? We are going to start episode, well, technically, I guess this is part 23, like 23 parts into this, but we're going to look at chapter 72, 74, starting out here in 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right. Yeah. Let's not meet again. And what a contrast to how she is now. Zixuan. Oh. Ah. Wow, what a contrast. And I love this like epic swaying music. Oh, look at this picture of Ning. Ooh, WuXian looks so good in that. Damn. Ning, look at Ning having a 6-pack. That. Damn, he looks so menacing, but he's the most cinnamon bun of cinnamon buns. Oh. Now, see, the Untamed, this was all censored, so this is going to be interesting seeing the uncensored version. Very interesting indeed. This music. I like this music. It's the banquet. Okay, that's why there was the big music. Oh. It's like, Wangji, if you don't want to stick around for the committee meeting afterwards, you can leave. Ah! And then Sushi shows up. Yeah, Zishin's still a prick. Hmm. And a lot of you have commented that Sushi might have taken Yao's just general customer service skills as him thinking he really cared about him. Uh-huh. Huh. Hmm. I flatter everyone. Interesting. Hmm. Of course it's well organized. Yao planned it. He's our wedding planner. Jishin's like, well, he made this tea for me, but I'll let you have some of it too. Because he gave them tea because they didn't want to drink alcohol, right? Uh-huh. And of course, Ishin's like, I don't respect your boundaries. Uh-huh. How about we use tea in place? He's like trying to be polite, being like, shut the frick up. Oh my god. Zishin's like, really? Uh. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how much of a lightweight these lawn boys are. It's like the worst peer pressure ever. I hate it. Zishin was like trying to say nicely, I don't want to. Yes! Oh, he drank it for both of them. Like a ghost. Do I have an invitation? Oh, and he wants to speak directly to Zishun, yeah. Oh, Zishun, you bitch. I can't wait that long. Yeah, no, you prick. Yes, it's urgent. Yes. Oh. Since he doesn't mind. Yeah. An 8-wing bat king. Ooh. And WuXian doesn't sound unreasonable here. Oh. Oh. So he's just sticking up for him. Oh. What's yeah, whether I raise my head or cut heads off. Ooh. Oh, do you want to overthrow the heavens? Oh. Ha! Yeah, isn't your skin a little too thick? Ooh. Ooh. Daddy Jen. Well, yes, but he did apologize to him. Uh huh. Hmm. Cannot be delayed further. Ooh. Like, I'll add it to my agenda. Interesting. Oh. Since you're here, while you're here. Wow. What about it? Uh huh. Uh huh. Hmm. Get to the point. This is the point. Ooh. Uh huh. Ha ha! Yes, okay. Oh. Right. Uh huh. Yeah, using live people as bait. How is it any different? Hmm. Yeah, they're just guilt by association. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Ugh. Yep. And Wangji's like, no, 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 no. Oh. Ooh. Oh. 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 Ooh, the way he said that. Oh. Why didn't you say so earlier? And he just left! Oh. Ooh. So did he fall or did he get pushed? Did he leave? Let's just keep drinking. Yeah. It's fine. Everything's great. Hmm. But that's why it can't be said out loud. Wow, yow. Huh. Yeah. Interesting. Yow. Huh. Hmm. Oh. Oh. No. 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 Hmm. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's the grandma. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, no. Oh my gosh, no. Oh. 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 Mm. He's around this tall. And he stutters. Oh, you can see Cheng in the picture. Oh. Oh, this is gonna be brutal. Where's the others? You shouldn't put it that way. Oh no. Oh. Oh. In the mud. Oh. Oh shit. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh. Oh man. Oh. Uh-uh. You're threatening me? I'll let him answer for himself. Oh my god. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Will soon become uninhabitable. Oh my god. Oh. 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 Oh, they didn't know. Oh. She can't ride by herself. There's a child. Give him to me. Oh, Wuxia took Yan. Oh. What is this? What is the song? What? And so Wuxia and them escaped. Wow. Oh my gosh. What is this song? It's a lot more rock and fast paced than anything I've heard in Modazushi. Is this Wuxian and Ning's voice actors singing? I feel like it is. Their harmonies are so good. It's like very much more upbeat than anything I've heard with Modazushi. Ooh, a lonely flute cries with ghosts. Or is this Wuxian and Wangji's voice actors? But my fate is in my own hands. Heaven is cruel. Ooh. Ooh, I like that line. Two nights anguish are vivid in my memory. Yeah, so, okay, the 2 nights when you lost Yixuan and Yanli. Or is it this night in Yanli's death? The needle of guilt. Ooh. Ooh. Who cares what fate has to offer? Ooh. Oh, I really like this song. The lyrics are really good. I hope we get it for a few more because I want to listen to the lyrics a little bit better next time. Again, the guitar and everything. It's so weird hearing this in Modazushi. But I'm okay with it. Greedy for joy and a cup of wine. Ooh. And body marked by scars. Oh, so it is Wangji Wuxian. Okay, yeah. Oh, it is! I hope this is in the next episode because I want to see this all, knowing that it's about Wangji and Wuxian. Ooh. In the past, in the end, past debts and resentments are laid to rest. Ooh. Yeah! Half a lifetime wasted, but you'll be by my side for the remaining seasons. Lying in Gusu. Drunk 1,000 times an Emperor's Smile. Oh, come on. Oh, that's so good. Okay. But we're about to do episode 4, so I'm not going to do the preview. So, because we're literally about to listen to it. Oh, that one was so good. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. And now we got to do episode 4. So we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Maybe we're not going to get Zixuan's death in this. Maybe this is just going to be him and Cheng breaking up. Maybe. We may not get to Zixuan's death yet. 4 inspectors were killed and 50 WENs escaped. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Interesting, Cheng. And I like the pictures of both Cheng and Wuxian. And it's like their hands together like they were going to be the twin heroes. No! Well, it's complicated. Look at Zixuan. Look at him. Trying to defend. And this is Mingju's thing. And Mingju is not. Ah. Ah. It would be. Uh-huh. A friendly reminder, huh? Oh, Daddy Jen, I hate you. Gross, hate him. Ah! The worst. you're the clan leader, but you're talking about gossip. Like you should be above that. Mm. Oh. Mm. No. Yep. Uh-huh. Is that so? Oh. I can't remember them clearly. Wow, Yao. Wow. He lied too. Mm. He's the son of a servant. Hmm. Could not comprehend the compassion of others. Wow. Ugh. Mian Mian, yes, girl. Yes. Yeah. Look at you, girl. Mm-hmm. It's revenge. But he found out through Wen Ning, though. Oh, kind enough to carry the corpse back and bury it. Uh-huh. Sure. Oh. Oh. Women, oh my gosh, no. So she's that Mian Mian. Ah. 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 Oh. I'm leaving. Damn, girl. Oh. Hmm. Oh. And Wangji left. Hmm. Yeah. No, she does have more backbone. Uh, hmm. Oh. Ah. No, he's not like his dad. Hmm. Oh, wow. No. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. You know that's not what I meant. Hmm. You're not an amazing genius like me. Forget it. Potatoes versus radishes. Yes, this debate. Ha! Building houses. Hmm. We are farming. Ah! I mean, mm-hmm. I lived here for 3 months. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Oh, take him away! Oh, yeah, right. Oh, 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 oh. Uh huh. They're defenseless people. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah. Don't kick that. You're ruining all my stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Yeah. Well. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. I want to awaken his consciousness. Exactly. Right. It's too damn difficult. Yeah. Oh. No. Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. You have options. But he doesn't. Not really. Yeah, they'd be killed. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. I can't protect you if you keep protecting them. Yep. No one will speak up for you either. Oh. And he called him by his courtesy name. The Lone Ranger. I'll set one. Then I can't protect you. Because you two made a promise. Do you not know the consequences? So they're going to do the duel. Okay, okay. The Donghua didn't have this, but the Untamed did. 3 days later. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, that's oh. Oh. And he has to fight with Ning because he doesn't have a core. He can't do it himself. Oh. A mysterious tome in a mysterious cave. Yeah, and it was almost foreshadowed. Then I'll set one. Yeah. Ooh. No. Oh, gut spilling out a little. Awesome. Oh. Mm. Oh, Cheng, that voice acting. Oh, damn it. Okay, I do want to listen to this. It's hard to predict who is good and who is evil. Mm-hmm. Her smile raises ripples on the calm lake. Mm-hmm. My heart is lit aflame by that charming, untamed traveler. Uh-huh. Under the vast skies, the human heart is a mystery. 3,000 fates are held in whose palm, carelessly whittling away. Oh, life and death parts burning my heart like a brand. Ooh. With 2 trails of tears, 1,000 thoughts flash by. Faintly, for whom is that lively song played? Ooh. A reckless youth after all. Praise or blame, happiness or misfortune are all given by whom? Ooh. I love the lyrics of this song. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. I do love the picture up there of Cheng and WuXian paths are not the same. Under the winter moon, a lowly flute cries with ghosts. Uh-huh. Heaven is cruel, but my fate is in my own hands. Yep, that's definitely WuXian's line. Half a carefree lifetime, all turns to dust. Crossing the point of no return. Heavy debts lie before me. 2 nights anguish are vivid in my memory. Yep, that's WuXian's. Yep, irredeemable. Every step, afraid every step taken was wrong. Ah! The needle of guilt pierces deep. Your ashes disappear in the wind. Unafraid of hell's fire. Ooh. Wishing only to bear the trials with you. No! And I like in the picture up there, you can see when WuXian and Cheng are doing the fist bump, it's like them when they're younger, and then above you have the older versions of themselves looking away, while the younger versions are looking towards each other. The symbolism, y'all. No. Dang it. Heart-knotted body marked by scars. 33. At that point, I was like, oh, it's about Wangji and WuXian. Who is calling me for a soul to return? A hearty laugh that passes ephemeral in the morning dew. Nothing can match one person's returned gaze. Hating that right and wrong are so muddled. Oh my god, yeah, this song's perfect for them. Yep. Oh, hand in hand walking together to the ends of the earth. Ugh, I'm ready for that. This is like torture. I'm ready for that. And lying in Gusu. You know. It's fine. So Zishuan's not dying yet. It's probably gonna be the next set of episodes. Not yet. Okay, I want to hear this preview though. Just to be sure. Just to see. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay. So I do want to listen to the Youngmeng Youths. So let me pull that up here. All right. Pull that up. It's only about 5 minutes, I think. Okay. Oop. All right. So we're going to start that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. How come there's so many legs on a chicken? A chicken? Ah! And Cheng's like, didn't you say to wait till 3? No, you didn't say 3. 1 chicken per person. Oh my god. You can't even catch a chicken. Oh no, they're stealing chickens. Oh, you stole the lotus pods this morning and you came back in the evening to steal chickens. Oh my god. You bunch of chicken thieves, you brats. Oh, right. Of course, yeah. You and Cheng split the chicken first. I get the most credit because I caught the chicken. He can have the chicken butt. You want to die? Let's fight, and if you win, I'll give you the leg. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Oh! It's just acting, yeah. You're the worst, WuXian. I'll still be brothers with you. Oh no! Oh! Oh! Shut up. That's so mean. That's so mean. Then I won't die. Oh, that's so cruel. Oh my god. Hit him, that's right. That was overboard. Oh. So I've always been getting into fights like this. Oh. Well, that sucks. That's really sad in hindsight. That's really sad, actually. Well, how about that? Okay. Well, that was actually in hindsight. That sounded really cute, but it was actually pretty sad. So, there's that. But yeah, so I am going to go now and read the chapters. And then from there, we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Oh. So I was wrong. We did not get to Zixuan's death in these two chapters. I was also wrong on that account. I had in my notes chapters 72 through 74, but when I went back to read the actual chapters in the novel, it's only chapters 72 and 73. It's crazy. We did an entire audio drama episode just on chapter 72 and an entire audio drama just on 73. Like, there's a lot of stuff covered in these two chapters. I took lots of notes. So these two chapters, 72 and 74, and then chapters 192 through 196 in the Manhua, really good. The Manhua chapters didn't really exactly know how to handle Ning's death, so they were just like, here's a few panels of it, and let's move on. Like, we don't want to draw blood and guts everywhere, which I get it, right? But they do have some really good shots that I'll have in the thumbnail and throughout this video. But man, I also want to bring up, there's some passages in chapter 72 and 73 that I'm like, I want to read them out loud because they were just so good. I started writing them out, and then I was like, I'm not going to write out this whole block of text. I'm just going to read it off the page. And it's crazy to think that the version I'm reading, the English version here, I'm at page 600. Like 620 is where this chapter leaves off. We're that far into the novel. 620 pages. Oh my gosh, MXTX. Ah. And you all say the heaven official's blessings even longer. Girl. I'm baffled. But yeah, these episodes, it was interesting to see because it's not been that long since I watched this on the Untamed. So seeing what was left out, seeing what was added in the Untamed that was not in the source material is very interesting. Like the whole thing of Wangji meeting WuXian in the rain as he's riding away with the winds, that's an Untamed only thing. And I thought it for a second, I kept expecting that it would be in this novel, and it's not. And I was like, oh, and I kind of like that the Untamed includes that because it also symbolizes like Wangji letting go, and I'm like, oh, interesting. So, and because from here on, if the novel, it's going to be interesting to see if the novel is different than the Untamed, but from here on, Wangji kind of like, you get hints of it here where he stands up for WuXian, but from here on, he kind of starts to lower his guard and start to do things that are against the sect rules because he loves WuXian. He's like, screw it, I'm going to protect him. And it leads him to getting the 33, whip marks and then branding himself. So it's interesting, but these chapters kind of set the catalyst, right? So I have my notes here about poor Cheng meeting WuXian, and in the novel, WuXian describes himself as the way that Cheng looks, running ragged through the city like a ghost of herself. WuXian's like, it reminds me of when Cheng and I were running from the winds originally right after the Lotus Pier burn. So WuXian sees a lot of himself and his internal struggle in Cheng, and so that's why he has empathy for her and wants to help her find her brother. And it's just, I hate the banquet hall scene is so frustrating because of how everybody acts during it. It's just so frustrating. And there's even moments in the novel where I feel like Yao was trying to help, but then he doubles down on trying to impress Daddy Jin, and it's like, Yao, what are you doing, bud? And it's very frustrating. So yeah, and so then asking for WuXian's help, and WuXian notes it's such a contrast. Her character is a complete 180 from how she was when they first met. Like, she was very commanding and had this presence, and now that her brother is gone, she's just so distraught. And WuXian notes how different it is. And so then, yeah, Sushi shows up. We get that in here just like we do in the other adaptations. And Sushi seems very keen on staying away from Wangji and Zixun. Like, I don't want to see them. And Zixun is just as much of a prick in this version as he is. I'd say in the Donghua, he's the least like a prick because we see him the least. He only shows up to be condescending at the bridge scene and when Zixuan dies. And then we don't really see him in the Donghua. In the Untamed, he's really insufferable. But in this, I think he's the most insufferable in the original novel. He's just awful. He's the worst. Nope. And then we have Wangji's famous, I want to hide him away line to Zixun. And I want to note that in the novel, chapter 72 starts out with that scene. That scene in the novel, in the audio drama, they did the setup of WuXian and Ning. But in the novel, it actually starts out with Wangji's words. And there's a moment, I loved how the novel described this, of Zixun, like, putting his hand against the snow-kissed blossoms. And it's so delicate that not even a dewdrop spilt on the ground. It's like, Zixun is just so damn delicate and handsome and beautiful. It's like, okay, but the way that the novel describes it, it's gorgeous. But yeah, Zixun notes that this is something new for Wangji because he notes that when Wangji's mother died, he became extremely withdrawn and he just focused on his studies and he didn't talk to people. He just kind of drew into himself and didn't want to communicate. And so the fact that he's telling Zixun for the first time, speaking up for himself and saying, I want to hide someone away. And it reminded me a lot of their father. Like their father, when their mother killed the teacher or the sect member, and Wangji and Zixun's father hid her away. It's exactly like that. Like Wangji wants to hide WuXian away, just like his father hid their mother away, so that the world won't punish her and the world won't punish WuXian. And it's like, the parallels are interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, so Sushi, you can kind of see in the chapter where Sushi gets that devotion towards Yao, because Yao is the only person that really acknowledges him. And Yao, several of you have noted this in the Untamed, Yao has the customer service smile. It's his job to know everybody. and he wants to know everybody to know how he can possibly manipulate them. So of course he'd know Sushi, but Sushi takes it as the highest compliment. It's like, interesting. But yeah, Zixuan's a prick. I can't stand him. And him showing up, like, they make a big deal in the novel and in the audio drama that Wangji and Zixuan don't drink. They don't drink. It's fine. Just give them the tea and let them have their tea while you guys all toast and whatever. They're not making a deal out of it. They're just like, we don't drink. It's our clan rules. And they're like, okay, cool, here's some tea. And Zixuan just doesn't respect their personal spaces. He's like, you're looking down on me by not drinking. And it's like, no, they're not looking down on you. They just literally do not want to do it. Just leave them alone. And he won't do it. And it's so frustrating. And in the audio drama, I love Zixuan's voice actor because he just tries to be polite, and you can just see him being like, and Yao is trying to be polite. He's like, and you can just see the tension mounting up. And then in that moment, he ignores them and proposes the toast, and WuXian comes in and steals. He steals in the Untamed, Zixuan does take a drink, which is interesting, which I guess kind of is explanatory because it's needed, because there's a scene in the Untamed where Zixuan and WuXian drink together. And so it's like, okay, well, we have to say that Zixuan's okay with this. But when Wangji is offered the drink, that's when WuXian comes in and steals it away. And he drinks the shot instead. And I like how he says that he just wants to speak to Zixuan. He actually just wanted to take Zixuan aside and like not get in the middle of everything. WuXian's like, I'm not here to cause trouble, but that's what ends up happening. But he's like, I just want to talk to you. And I also want to note that there's a line in the novel that while this is all going on, Yao looks over to Zixuan and smiles, his smile and eyes full of apology. Like, Yao's like, I am so sorry that you and your brother are subjected to my clan's horribleness, but like, that's just what it seems like. And I'm like, in these chapters, there's a lot of Zixuan Yao moments. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, I see where the shippers are coming from. There's a moment I'm specifically going to talk about here soon that I'm going to read from the translation that I have that I was like, oh my gosh, slay me. But yeah, so WuXian just wants to talk to Zixuan. And Zixuan's like, no, just, I'm too busy. And in the audio drama, it's harder to tell because we can't see WuXian. But in the novel, WuXian, it's described that he slipped into the banquet hall like a ghost. Like, nobody even noticed he arrived. He just snuck in like the wind. And it's like, oh, cool. And so everybody's kind of freaked out that he just popped up in the middle of the banquet hall. And they're like, oh, crap, where'd you come from? And then it says in the novel that WuXian kept his anger under control until Zixuan just literally purposefully ignored him. And that's when his anger flared up. And he was like, excuse me, I'm talking to you. Tell me where Ning is. And that's where, and it says that the line when he says, just give him to me, it said at that moment, WuXian's tone became cold and he was no longer smiling. Like at that point, he's like, okay, I played my games. My patience is up. Now tell me where he is, right? And that, of course, is when Daddy Jin comes in, because I like the novel establishes that Daddy Jin only steps in when Zixuan's at a disadvantage. Like when Zixuan was winning the argument, it says in the novel that Daddy Jin, Guanshan, just sat back smiling, but the moment Zixuan was at a disadvantage, he stepped in to support him. And it's like, that seems in character for him. And of course, he just wants the tiger amulet, so he's like, well, while we're here, let's talk about all this unfinished business. And WuXian's like, I don't have time for this. And I love these, like, his words are the truth, and they get everybody off guard. And I hate this scene because WuXian's saying all this truthful stuff, and everybody's just gossiping and twisting his words around, and it's so frustrating. It's like, no, WuXian's not, he's saying the truth, like, you guys aren't, they're no different, right? And he's like, I just need to help this person because they helped me, so just tell me where they are. And then finally, Daddy Jin gets mad. And I wondered what that crashing was it sounded like he was being pushed in the audio drama, but in the chapter in the Manhua, he just like upends a table and barges off. Like he just storms off. He's so angry at WuXian. And Yao is left to clean up the mess. And that's where we get to this part. It's on page 602. So Zixuan gets mad. Daddy Jin gets mad. Daddy Jin like storms off out of anger. And Zixuan, who is so angry at this point, he just flings his cup of liquor directly at Yao's chest. And Yao just gets soaked in liquor. And it's like, Yao's like, I can't catch a break, can I? So I wanted to read this all to you. All right. I wanted to Lan Zixin was the only one who exclaimed, "Brother!" Jin Guangyao, I'm fine, brother, please be seated. It was unsuitable for Lan Zixin to comment on Jin Zixin, so he took out a snow-colored handkerchief and passed it to him. Go retire and change your clothes. And Guangyao took the handkerchief, wiping away as he forced a smile. I can't leave, can I? So establishing that he can't go. Like, he's like, I'd love to go clean up myself, but he's like, my dad's run off. The rest of my family are being pricks. Someone has to hold this banquet together, and it might as well be me. And the novel says he was the only one left to clean up the mess. How could he leave the scene? He reassured the crowd as he ranted, completely exhausted. Young Master Wei really is too impulsive. How could he speak in such a way in front of so many sects? And Lan Wangji spoke coldly. Was he wrong? And Jin Guangyao paused almost unnoticeably. He immediately laughed. Ha ha! Yes, he's right. But it's because he's right that he can't say it in front of them. Correct? Meaning like, he was in the right, but these people are not going to go with that. Like, you've just insulted them. So you just told them all they're liars and wrong. So of course they're going to go up in arms about it. And that's when Zixin says that Master Wei's heart really has changed. Hearing this, pain flashed across the light pair of eyes under Lan Wangji's knitted brows. And then we cut back to WuXian. So yeah, that moment, like such, of course, I just love the image of Zixin giving Yao his handkerchief, being like, it reminds me of like 101 Dalmatians, where Roger's like, here, this will help you. And he brings out the handkerchief, and Anita is like covered in water. It's like, you know. But yeah, that moment where Yao is like, he can't just say whatever he's thinking, like he just is going to put a target on his back, which Cheng, we're going to come back to that, Cheng points that out to him as well. But yeah, so then we go back to them looking for Ning. It's awful. It's just as bad as you think it is. It's just as bad as it is in the Untamed and in the Donghua. It's worse. I feel like the Donghua really, really handled that scene in the least amount of possible. They were just like, where is he? Oh, there he is. He's dead. And then we went from there. In the Untamed, it's pretty gruesome. In the novel, it's very gruesome. And I think I like the novel version best. Fitting it's the original, right? Fitting that it's the original. But yeah, the idea that the Jins have been using people as live bait. They've been putting the flags on them, using them as live bait. And there's a moment in the novel and in the manhwa where WuXian looks over to one of the inspectors when him and Cheng get there, and he notices that they have a branding iron, just like Zhao had. And it's the same exact branding iron. It just has the Jin symbol on it now instead of the winds. And he's like, nothing's changed. And it's like, ah! And so then, yeah. I wanted to note, too, before moving on to this whole scene, that I had in my notes that at this point, WuXian is getting mad, and Wangji is the only one that can calm him down at this point. And I love that this one moment here where it says that, and Cheng wasn't there. Cheng was not at the banquet hall. I forgot about that he wasn't there. I think in the Untamed he is there, but in this he is not. And so I love that when WuXian is stopped by Wangji in the banquet hall, it says that WuXian looked into Wangji's eyes and saw his own hideous reflection. Like, WuXian realized just how awful he was being in that moment, but he was so angry he had to literally calm himself down. Right? And so then we had WuXian them looking around for them, and what do? But they find Ning, all right. They find him. And that whole part with the granny and Yan, the granny just being forced to carry this flag around, this heavy flag, and just wandering around aimlessly muttering about how horrible she is. What did Granny Wen do to you? Like, that's so awful. And her having Yan with her, it's absolutely awful. And so then, yeah, they find Ning. They find Ning and the subordinates. And Cheng even makes a point of saying, she was like, you don't understand, like, my brother's this meek person, and we never let him have subordinates that were, angry either. They're all just mice following him. She's like, his whole clan, the whole little sect group he was in charge of, none of them were hostile or aggressive. They were all just meek people, but they were the people that Ning could be in charge of. And she's like, and so many of them have been killed. Mm-hmm. And so they look over to find him, and then they end up finding him. It's on page 608 to 609. And at this point, you can see throughout the novel that WuXian's just getting really pissed off, like really mad at this entire situation. And so he pulls the flute out. And the fact that when he confronts them and he's like, so yeah, where's the dead people at? You say all the live people are here. Where's the dead people? And they won't tell him. So he brings out the flute and makes them all rise up from the ground. And it's really creepy, really gross. But yeah, this idea here on page 607, it's saying about Ning, that his face was pale as wax and his pupils were dilated. The blood at the corner of his lips had already dried into a dark brown. Although his chest didn't rise and fall at all, it was obvious to see that half of his rib cage had collapsed. Nobody who saw such a scene would think he was still alive, but Wenqing still didn't give up, grabbing for his pulse with trembling hands. Holding on to him for a few moments, she finally broke into tears. And then this part got me. She'd been both scared and anxious, running as though she was mad, but she was still too late. She couldn't even see her brother one last time. Wenqing cried as she touched Wen Ning's ribs, as if she wanted to piece them back together. In vain hopes, she clung onto the non-existent possibility. Her sweet features were wrung, distorted, becoming unsightly, ugly even. But when someone was in the deepest of their sorrows, they'd never be able to cry with grace. So the idea that she's just sitting there like trying to like put his ribs back together is so disturbing, and then realizing that he's dead, and that, oh my gosh. This next part here, that the shock that Wenqing received was too strong. Finally, she couldn't hang on any longer and passed out. Standing behind her, Wei Wuxian caught her without saying anything, letting her lean onto his chest. He closed his eyes, opening them for a short while later. Who killed him? His tone was between hot and cold. It was as if he wasn't angered, but was rather thinking about something. God, it's so good. It's so good. And that's when they make the whole thing where he's like, we wouldn't kill any person. And Wuxian's like, you don't view them as people. So to you, this isn't like killing people. And then, yeah, oh my gosh. And then and the moment that he calls him Wen Zhonglin, like he calls Ning by his courtesy name, and that wakes Ning up. It says, as if a reply, Wen Ning let out a long, thundering roar. The ears of everyone within the valley ached. Wei Wuxian spoke one word at a time. Whoever caused all of you to be like this, let them meet the same end. I give you the right to do so. Settle everything. And he does! And he does. And in the audio drama, it's so crazy, but as he's literally ripping these people apart, Wuxian's questioning this one prisoner, being like, so where's everybody else at? Like, they're having this conversation while Ning is just slaughtering people left and right. It's absolutely crazy. But they find out that there's a cabin where they beat the people, and that's where they're keeping the other subordinates at. And Wuxian goes to rescue them. And, oh my gosh, while Ning is slaughtering everybody. And so then, yeah, and then I love that scene where the granny is getting on the horse and she can't hold Yan and the horse at the same time, so Wuxian takes Yan into his arms. And it's like, oh my gosh, like just Wuxian riding off with Yan, and that started the whole thing, right? And so there's a moment here where we find out that there's there were 4 inspectors killed and 50 wins saved. So 50 wins, like the young, old, and children all went with Wuxian, and 4 inspectors were killed, the 4 that killed Ning, right? And so, of course, Cheng is put on the spot, and Daddy Jim, because he's the worst possible, like just completely berates Cheng, informing him like, well, it's not just a matter between the Jins and the Zhangs, because there's other clans involved too, so you need to find a way to take responsibility. And Cheng's like, shit. So it's just, Cheng's put in a hard place. There is a moment in this, though, where when Daddy Jin is trying to say, he's lying. He lies to Cheng and saying this gossip that Wuxian talked about Cheng behind his back, which isn't true. And Wangji points it out that it's not true, right? And everybody's like, why is Wangji defending Wuxian all of a sudden? And then Yao comes in and lies. Yao lies. It says in the novel, Yao came in to save the day and lie and say, and everybody they weren't questioning Yao because they were like, well, Yao's memory is great. But there is a line where Mingzhu questions him. It says that Mingzhu frowned, thinking, well, Yao and Wangji both have excellent memories, so one of them's not telling the truth. And it's like, I wonder who. And you wonder if Mingzhu suspects that it's Yao lying, because he would have reason to suspect Yao from the past. Again, we don't have that key deviation scene, but I could see like the pieces starting to put together that maybe Mingzhu is figuring Yao out, and that's why Yao's like, you gotta go. you know? So, and then there's these lines here about the lines here, because Jishin does defend Cheng, and Mingju, because he only knows right from wrong, black and white, he says that Cheng is guilty because she didn't do anything. Because Jishin's like, well, Cheng didn't kill anyone, and Mingju's like, well, she was Ruhan's right-hand, person. Whether she killed someone or not, she still should have done something, and she didn't. And so by not acting, it's automatic guilt. It's like, and so I love this idea that they could not comprehend the compassion of others through the resentful energy and everything. It's like, it's awful. And Yao lies. And there's this note about the son of a servant that Daddy Jin brings up. And during the audio drama, I was like, man, that son of a servant line kind of sounds like son of a prostitute. You think Yao would get a little triggered by that. In the novel, they point it out. In the novel, it's brought up saying that it is acknowledged that there's a connection between the son of a servant and son of a prostitute. And the people there during the meeting take note of it. But Yao, it says, Yao continued to smile regardless. Yao's like, I'm not going to let it get to me. I've got a job to do. I've got to save face with my dad. I'm not going to let it bother me. Like, he was just, the customer service smile was on, and he didn't care. It's like, and they try to frame it that Daddy Jin had good intentions. He just wanted to take the tiger amulet because he knew how dangerous it was. And it would corrupt a single person alone. It's like, it's the worst because we know he's lying. And it's just, he frames it as a kindness he's doing to WuXian. And WuXian's just being so unreasonable. It's like, no, it's not a kindness. You are greedy and you want to take it all for yourself. But yeah, so Wangji has the mic drop moment. And Mian has the mic drop moment as well. And I will say this. What really pisses me off, I think, reading the novel and listening to the audio drama about this scene is that, and we talk about like sexuality and gender and things like that with this series, but they automatically discard her words because she's a woman and because they say that because WuXian flirted with her, that her heart is tainted because she's a woman and just wants to hook up with WuXian. And it makes me mad because that's clearly not the case. She was just defending him out of kindness. But it also makes me mad because a few pages earlier, they're like, gee, why is Wangji sticking up for him? They don't ever question that Wangji's the one that has the crush on WuXian. Wangji's the one that the flirting has gotten to. And it's obvious Wangji's not just sticking up for WuXian because of that. He sticks up for WuXian because he believes him and he cares about him. But it's funny that all of these hypocrites in the room, they call Mian out and accuse her of having a crush on WuXian when it's not the case. When the guy in the room that has the crush on WuXian that their argument could apply to, they don't even bother to make it. And it's like, wow. It's very frustrating. And I was like, Mian, I don't blame you for leaving. I don't. The manual has a really cute picture of Wangji bowing to her, which is really, really nice too. I like it. And so, yeah. And then Jishin stops the gossip. I like that Jishin's like, we're not talking about anybody behind their back. She's gone. Let's cut the chit chat. No more. And then they also make the comment about Mian being the daughter of a servant. So there's clearly that classism, right? That whole thing, well, you're just the child of a servant, so you can't be as noble as us. Like, they use that against her as well. And I'm like, you guys are the worst. Why does WuXian want to save you in the present timeline? Why? We don't know. But there's also, whenever Mingju comments, whenever he sees Mian and Wangji bowing to them, Mingju makes the comment about Mian having more backbone than the entirety of her clan. And it says in the novel that Yao smiled cheerfully. Right. So Yao's the one that confirms it. It's like, she does have more backbone. And again, that ties to what Yao said to Wangji, saying Mian proves Yao's point that Mian was right. Everything she said was correct. But because she said it to those people and proved them wrong, they discarded her. And Yao's like, my point was just proven. She may have had more backbone than the entire clan, but now she's kicked out of the clan. And it's like, it's crazy. So yeah, and then Daddy Jin says then Daddy Jin lies to Cheng again, saying that the clan, he's like, well, if you don't do something about WuXian, the clan may look down on you because they like WuXian more than you. And I'm like, he's the worst, and I'm not gonna feel sad when he goes. But yeah, so then we cut to WuXian Cheng visiting WuXian, and we have the potatoes versus radishes debate. I love that it's in both the audio drama and the novel, and it's in the Untamed. I love it. I love that WuXian wants to plant potatoes, and she's like, nope, radishes, and I love that it's these two cultivators, like you have your Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation, and then you have Cheng, who's a very adequate cultivator, and they're arguing about something as simple as vegetables. It's great. It's a great time. But yeah, Cheng meets up with him. Let it be known, Cheng does not like little kids. It said in the novel, Cheng had no love for Aeon at all. Even though he was like clinging cutely to his leg, he was like, get this kid away from me. Like, you make it dirty. Like, I like that Cheng just has no love in his heart for Yan at all. It's kind of sad. I was like, oh, I'm glad he ends up liking Ling. I'm glad he ends up liking him. But yeah, and so Cheng is not amused. And then they get to inside the cave where WuXian shows them around. And you kind of see, I like that the novel expresses just kind of how, like, sad and run down the state is. Like, WuXian's trying to help these people create a new home where they can be safe. But when you go inside the cave, I like that the novel describes that it gets messier and messier the deeper you go. Kind of like WuXian's state in this story. The deeper we get into it, the messier it gets. And the more we get into WuXian's psyche, the messier it gets. Like, WuXian's trying to hold it all together. And from the outside, it looks fine. But I like that the cave is a representation of the deeper in you get, the worse it gets. Like, WuXian is just, he's barely holding it together. And he's trying to protect these people. And it's kind of like he started down this path saying he would do it. And now he has to live with that. It's like, it's really, really sad. Because WuXian doesn't think he has any other option, even though Cheng's like, you have plenty of options. You can just turn these people in and come back home. And WuXian's like, no, I can't. And it's more complicated. And the funny thing is the novel doesn't talk about this because we don't have the Golden Core reveal at this point. But at this point, WuXian's like, I can't go back. I can't be a part of that life anymore. I don't have a core. If I go back to where you're at, I can't cultivate with the rest of you. It's like, this is my newfound family. He's like, it's not what I asked for, but I have to protect them. And they appreciate me. That's the one thing I like that the Untamed does, is it expands upon this part of the novel just a bit to where you can kind of see why WuXian would want to stay. In the novel, you kind of find yourself going along with Cheng being like, yeah, you could just leave. But then when Cheng lays out what that would mean, he'd have to give up the WENs, Cheng and Ning, and you'd have to give the Tiger Amulet up. Then you kind of see where WuXian's like, no, I can't do that. But until that point, you kind of get Cheng's point. Like, yeah, you've got options, but he really doesn't. He really doesn't. And that speech, I wanted to go to page 620. That's my last note I've got here, the spiel, where they start to argue. And WuXian's like, it's nothing but a dead end if we just return them. He's like, and there's this whole thing where he wants to bring back the consciousness of Ning. And I loved this, where Cheng was like, wait, you want to bring back the consciousness of a fierce ghost? That's impossible. And WuXian's like, well, I keep telling them that I'm going to be able to, so I got to try, right? And I love, what did he say up here? He gets mad about it, and he's like, WuXian's kind of like, I can't, what does he say? Yeah, Cheng sneered, dreaming again, aren't you? Awaken as conscious. What'd be the difference between a fierce corpse like this and a human being? In my opinion, if you really succeeded, nobody would need to be a human, and nobody would need to cultivate. They could just come to you and ask to be made into a fierce corpse. That's such a crazy argument. I never thought of it that way. But yeah, Ning kind of blurs the line between humanity and, bringing back the dead. It's like, this is something crazy that you're not supposed to do. And Cheng's like, yeah, what's stopping people from just killing themselves and having you bring them back as a corpse? He's like, what if that became something that a clan would want to, like, weaponize and have you just make a whole army of corpses for them? Like, he's like, no, don't you see how this is wrong? And WuXian laughed, that's right. I've realized as well that it's too fucking hard, but I've already boasted about it a couple times in front of his sister. Now all of them believe that I can do it. I'll have to succeed, or else what'll I do with my face? And that's when Cheng attacks Ning's body, trying to kill him. And he calls WuXian arrogant, basically, and WuXian's like, no. And Cheng's like, you've got no choice because they were forcing you? Well, now I've not got a choice because you're forcing me. And then he explains what's happening with the sex and Daddy Jin. And then the big spiel he gets over here where they're talking about, WuXian's like, well, don't you realize what Ning and Cheng have done for us? I can't just abandon them. That's not going to work. And Cheng's like, you don't understand. These people loathe the WENs. They want them to die. And by associating with them, you are putting a target on yourself. And WuXian's like, well, I don't need anybody to speak for me. WuXian's like, I want to do it myself. And Cheng's like, why are you being stubborn? If you can't do it, then just move over and I'll do it. And then the point where WuXian said, Zhang Wanyin, I was like, when you called Cheng by his courtesy name for like the first time in this whole series, it's like, and then Cheng gives a spiel. He's like, Wei Wuxian, don't you, and he says, Wei Wuxian, don't you understand? When you're standing on their side, when you're standing on their side, you're the bizarre genius, the miraculous hero, the force of the rebellion, the flower that blooms alone. But the second your voice differs from theirs, you've lost your mind. You've ignored morality. You've walked the crooked path. You think you can be immune to all those condemnations as you stay outside of the world and do whatever you want? No such precedent has happened before. And Wei Wuxian shouted, if there's no precedent, then I'll be the precedent. Swords unsheathed, the two stared at each other for a while. Neither was willing to take a single step back. And then a while later, Zhang Cheng spoke. Wei Wuxian, have you still not realized what the situation at hand is like? Do you really need me to say it out loud? If you insist on protecting them, then I won't be able to protect you. And Wuxian says, there's no need to protect me. Just let me go. I love that spiel because Cheng's not wrong. Cheng knows how the system works. He's like, whenever you're in their good graces and they agree with you, then you're the weirdo that's kind of like, well, you're the flower that blooms alone. Like, you're kind of odd, but we're okay with using you because you're beneficial to us. But the moment he goes against them, suddenly he's the enemy. He's like, that's just how these people work. And Cheng's trying to go along with the system to save face with his clan because he has a job to do as a sect leader. And he's like, you can't just ignore the outside world being as powerful as you are and think nobody's going to do anything about it. That's never been done. And Wuxian's like, well, then I'll be the first person to do it. And Cheng's like, and that's when Cheng calls him arrogant. And he's like, that's not going to work. I can't protect you if you're doing this. And then Wuxian turns him away. And it's so sad because it's like, you see these twin heroes and that whole dream just crumples in these chapters. It just fades away. And then the novel's very brief about the fight. The Donghua just leaves it out pretty much entirely, and the Untamed had a big old thing about it. But the novel just has a paragraph saying that Cheng gets his arm broke, Wuxian gets stabbed in the guts, and that's pretty much it. And then at the very end of the paragraph in chapter 73, Cheng tells them that Wuxian has defected. And then they really went, in the Untamed, it wasn't really as dramatic of a defection as this is, because he's like, the Youngmeng Youths sect had already cast him out. From then on, no ties remained between them. The clear line was drawn. Henceforth, no matter what he did, they'd have nothing to do with the Youngmeng Youths sect. So they just completely shut him out. Which I think that explains more why Wuxian was so out of the loop with Yanli and her wedding and then Ling being born, because he was being cut out. He was completely being left out of the discussion. So it's like, yeah, you get that. But man, these chapters were really, really good. Really good. Then we had, of course, the Youngmeng Youths with the disciples and Wuxian and them stealing the chickens. And it's I like that they included that extra, because when they included it, it ties back to Wuxian and Cheng fighting since they were kids, and when Wuxian pretended to be dead, I was like, oh, now that's such a meta. That's going to come back later. And Cheng being so distraught and being like, I don't want you to die. No, I'll go call mom and dad and have them help. Like, I think that just hints that how much Cheng loves Wuxian and why he's so mad at him right now. And it also ties to Cheng loving Wuxian as a brother and not giving up on him after all these years, kind of like Wangji. In the weirdest way, him and Wangji never gave up on Wuxian being alive. They just handled it in totally different ways. And then when he comes back, they handle it in different ways. So, but that little extra started out really sweet, and then it got really sad, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, why are you doing this? But here we are. So, yeah, But these chapters were really good, 72 and 73, and the Manhwa's pretty good as well. But so I'm trying to think, next chapter we'll probably have Wangji and Wuxian meeting again, and Yan being with them. So we probably actually have a little while before Zixuan dies. I kept thinking it was going to immediately happen, but no, we probably have a couple chapters before that all goes down. So good. I loved the episodes of The Untamed where Wuxian and Wangji met up with Yan. Those were some of my favorite of the series so far. So I'm actually excited to get to that point in the novel too. I'm not ready for Yanli to die. I'm not ready for Zixuan to die. It'll be the third time around. It'll be the last time around. not ready for it yet. So if we could just prolong that another week, I think that'd be good. But yeah, I'm very curious to know your thoughts down below. These episodes were great. I really enjoyed them, or these chapters were really great. And then the 2 episodes of the audio drama were as well. So next week, we're going to do actually chapters 74 through 76, which are episodes 5 and 6 of season 3 of the audio drama, and starting with chapters 197 of the Manhua. So exciting times. I'm ready for a dinner date with WuXian and Wangji, and see WuXian left, Wangji at the banquet hall and kind of stormed out to go save Ning and them, and then he didn't see Wangji after that. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, so I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with the next chapters in Modao Zushi. Bye.